Hi, it's Romy here. Thanks so much for tuning into the channel if you're new or returning. Pisces, this is your August 2020 tarot card reading. My readings are general, but they might resonate for you. If they do, you can support my work by dropping me a like and a comment, and you can join me for the extended version of this reading. I'll go ahead and put the links for that in the description box and in the comment section below. You might also enjoy your rising and your moon signs for this month as well, so be sure to check them out. But let's go ahead and see what is coming up for you in August, Pisces. Okay, let's take a look at this soul story for Leo season, Pisces. So the sun illuminating through Leo, your 6th house, how you're taking care of yourself and the way in which you are showing up to be of service to others. And we open up your reading with the card of the Devil, ruled by Saturn. And I think that what is coming up here is perhaps an energy at times through this season of you feeling incredibly uncomfortable because you are somehow being challenged, provoked, or your value is being put into question. Now you see Mars in Aries, Mars the god of war, and the planet that shows us the way in which we use our energy is moving direct through your 2nd house of value. So it's an incredibly fortuitous placement for you to be able to really start to embrace material gain and abundance, and to gain more courage and more confidence in terms of what you have to offer and your worthiness. And yet the Devil energy comes here to remind you that so often there are those aspects of our subconscious that can emerge, the fears or the way that we have been repeating a certain pattern. There's a very karmic influence in terms of the way this plays out, that is meaning that you're holding yourself small, you're holding yourself back. And you know that Mars in Aries is fire, the Leo energy, the sun is fire, and yet you're working with 2nd house and 6th house energies, which are, you know, really rooted in earth energy. And I think that's going to be very helpful. The Devil also linked into Capricorn energy. And so I see you being able to almost draw down this spiritual lesson, this spiritual wisdom, and apply it to very physical situations that are unfolding, and come to a new conclusion about the way that you want to respond. You see, for me, the Devil is almost representing the Devil on your shoulder, but absolutely you're going to feel his presence, and you're going to know the exact right moment to take a different direction, to make a different decision, to illuminate where the thought form or where the pattern is being reactivated, so that you have the time to choose a different way. You know, this is about how you're tuning into a changing climate, how you're allowing yourself that progression. This is the moment where we really start to walk our talk and really integrate the learning that we've been receiving. Now, we know that you don't particularly like confrontation, Pisces, and yet this month there's a lot of volatility, there's a lot of angry energy that's coursing through the collective right now, and people need to express that, and you included. So any placement where there has been suppression, you know, could come out quite unpredictably, and so emotional responses are set to be incredibly passionate. And you are set to find that there are going to be situations where you are realizing, perhaps in a way that you never have before, where there is an addiction, where there is a obsession, where there is like a fiery kind of desire that's laid somehow contained or suppressed within you, and now just has to be released. And now here we have High Priestess, and so there's something here, you see, that I feel you're going to almost be fighting against, because the High Priestess wants to keep the secret, keep it quiet, keep it on the down low. You know, she's got a very passive, still energy that's saying, you know, there is information and wisdom that is yet to be received. We have to sit and find a place of acceptance, knowing that what is unfolding needs to happen in this order, and there is more to come. And yet I think there will be moments with that Devil on your shoulder where you try to control, you try to push, you try to take charge of a situation or a particular energy, and go against what your internal guidance system is telling you. Now, that isn't inherently wrong, it's just an experience, Pisces, you know? And so at any given moment, where you find yourself overstimulated, because that's the other theme that I get coming through with that devil energy, the overstimulation that could occur through this month just because there's so much fire energy and you're being worked up. And that might be because you're absorbing too much energy from those around you, or that you may be dealing with somebody that's representing and projecting this onto you. They may be very locked into your energy field and you're just feeling it like a constant drain. So again, in that instance, I do see you having a powerful boundary with a very spiritual protection around you. But what you're going to need to remember is that overstimulation needs to be grounded and it needs to be cleared. And so the ways in which you can try to release any stress, any anxiety, any fear, any lower energy is going to be really helpful for you, not just in this month, because it's actually helping to set out like a new way of being. This is you figuring out how to move forward in this new energy paradigm in a way that really serves you, Pisces. So on the 3rd, 4th of the month, we've got a full moon in Aquarius. It's squaring Uranus, so it's got a very rebellious, revolutionary feel to it. It's in your 12th house of ending and closure. With that, what I see unfolding for you, Pisces, is the opportunity to let something go and find a new approach, a new solution that is incredibly innovative and very forward thinking. Your 3 of Wands brings more passion and energy, but what it's going to help you to do is to direct it in the right way. So where the devil represents anything that you've been investing in that is not good for you, it is not on the path of your higher self, where Spirit wants you to focus your attention so that you can become more. Your 3 of Wands is stepping forward and saying, do you know what? There's more potential here. There's more to realize. There's far much more in this direction for you to work with that's going to enable and support you achieving more and receiving more than there ever would be in this direction. And so you're definitely going to come up against more than one moment through this season where you're being given an invitation, really. You know, do you want to dance with the devil again and go backwards? Or do you really want to trust in yourself and where you feel inextricably pulled and drawn and find a deeper sense of courage and conviction in what you know is meant for you, what you know is good for you, what you know you're capable of? And that's where I see you moving towards, Pisces. The 3 of Wands is suggesting to me there are new opportunities on the horizon. They've not yet come in. You might not have a full sense of where they're going to show up from. But here's the thing, that Mars and Aries in your 2nd house is absolutely illuminating where your drive and ambition resides. And I think that you are going to be taking the position to put yourself forward in so many different instances. So if we're looking at this from a business, a work, a career perspective, what you're trying to achieve in terms of your own goals, whether they be physical, spiritual, emotional, any kind of self-care work that you're doing, and in regards to your relationships, you're going to find it a lot easier to be able to express and lay out what is the vision and what you're going to be doing, what you intend to do to make that happen. And what's positive about this and what I'm feeling for you, Pisces, is that you're not waiting for validation or permission with this. You know, you're really ready to just take control and take accountability and just to make it happen. And you will. And I see some real gain happening. And even though there's a sense of this month delivering conflict, and it's really about a lesson for each and every one of us in terms of the emotion of anger, frustration, agitation, and the way in which we deal with that, and how we channel it into something positive and how we transmute it into something that's beneficial for our soul growth. But what I'm seeing with that is that it's really also going to bring about resolution for you where you need it. So if something has been causing resistance, if there has been a setback, Ace of Swords is cutting through that. It's bringing clarity. It's very cathartic energy. And I think that that Ace of Swords is also what you're going to be using to set yourself free from whatever that devil represents. Now remember, like I said, those key dates, the 13th and the 24th, particularly when Mars squares Pluto and Saturn, very karmic energies. And they're uncomfortable, but in facing it head on, and the Ace of Swords for me is an energy that is going to allow you the opportunity to do that. You're not going to back down, you're not going to shy away, and it's not in the sense of like having to stand up against somebody. Don't look at it like that kind of that theme. For me, it's more about you looking at yourself, you owning something within you, because that's where the wisdom is coming from. Now, the other thing that I pick up with this is there's a tremendous source of magnetism that is coming off of your energy field through this month in Leo season. Now, remember, Leo energy is very instinctive, it's raw, it's animalistic. Mars in Aries is really talking about our sexual energy as well. That second house is linking into your sacral chakra, where you hold that sexual energy, that ability to create. And I really feel that directed and used in the right way, that passion can be incredibly supportive. It will draw towards you people who are interested in what you have to say, who are interested in who you are. It will raise your stock, if you like. It will put the products, the services, the things that you're working on that you want to put out into the world, that sixth house energy, and give them this air of magnetism that will be so appealing to people as they look toward the future and what's coming next, and trying to understand new ways of working, new ways of being, new ways of doing. And so I'm seeing with your Three of Wands that you're in a position to take almost like that very thought leader, visionary, up ahead kind of a position, and to show people and also to draw them towards you. But there's an element of truth that comes through with this. Yeah, you have to be in it with an integrity, with a sense of deliverance that is coming from a higher source, so that it's not infused with perhaps too much of your own experience that's littered with beliefs, and of course that always comes to the table, but there's something about you cleaning that out, so actually that the message and the energy with which you are expressing is much purer. And I think you'll be kind of tuning in with yourself over and over again to make sure that's the case, because I feel like there's going to be a deeper need for you this month, Pisces, to actually be able to operate in that way, because the sixth house, it's just got that sense of, it's ruled by Virgo, and it wants, there's a healing quality to it, but it wants to get it right. It wants to do it in the right way, and so where you're looking to demonstrate an increase in terms of your value and what you have to offer and what you can bring to the table, and you're looking to bring others to the table to share that, you're also very, very aware that you have to get it in the right order. And again, I think that devil on your shoulder can be helpful, because it's going to almost play devil's advocate, if you like. It's going to show you, is this your truth? Are you coming at this blindsided? Do you know what I mean? Do you need to kind of open your eyes or be more awake to someone else's approach or to what someone else has to say in this? And, Mercury moving into Leo, again, is going to be very helpful for people to be more open about what they feel, what their agenda is, what they're trying to get from a situation. And that's okay. That can be really healthy. In any case, whether it's relationships, personally, professionally, with whatever is going on in your world, you need to know where people are coming from, and you need to be brave and truthful enough to say what it is that you need too. Now we have Venus moving into Cancer on the 7th of the month, and that's into your 4th house of house and home. So it's an incredibly nurturing placement to be working with. I think this is going to be really helpful when you're trying to just reconnect with yourself, but also with relationships. So as we've cleared out that Venus-Mercury retrograde, and for some of you, you may have gone through some real powerful shifts or some uncomfortable situations, Venus in Cancer is just helping you to come back together in a way that feels more tender and more nurturing. But inevitable change has preceded this reconnection. And for some of you, maybe that change is going to be too profound, and that actually, even though you kind of get the opportunity to have the conversation that you've been waiting to have, or there may be discussions about a meaningful way forward, you may well choose, based on your decision to want to break free from an old pattern or an old way of doing things, an old way of being, that this is no longer for you and you need to now move forward. Regardless, death is showing this profound sense of transformation that is absolutely inevitable. And as you tune into the changing climate and you really reevaluate who you are, what you need, and the way in which you want to start exploring that and living your life, it is going to cause some changes in and around the relationships, the connections, and the energy that are around you. Yeah? Okay, card of the Moonchild. So, there's a very instinctive, intuitive way in which you are receiving information through this month. So even though Leo has us wearing our heart on our sleeves, we're coming from our solar plexus energy center, and we're acting in that very immediate way. I still think you're being very guided with that. So there's a trust that needs to come through, because I feel like you're going to start to receive some green lights. Those green lights are going to show up particularly in the areas where you are looking to achieve more security. Okay, so if you are taking steps to improve your financial situation, you'll start to see the clear road or the clear path you are meant to go down in order to realize that. If you are trying to achieve more in terms of your physical health or well-being, there will be some profound indicators that are coming through that are going to help you to move forward on a pathway that's going to be much more supportive of you. And I think that pull will be so strong that even where you might have instances where you feel like you're being pulled back, I just don't see you entertaining it, because you're just tired. You're tired of that kind of a pattern playing itself out. Now, Temperance coming in is delivering the healing, and we need this. I think from moving through eclipse season, through that deep Cancer energy, through all of the retrogrades, particularly with Mercury, Venus, there's been that opportunity for some reflection and observation of what wasn't working. That's really clear. However, there's now just a readiness to say, okay, show me something different now, universe. Show me something different. I am so ready to embrace a new vision, a new outlook. I'm so ready to see different types of connections and energies showing up for me. I'm ready to find those creative solutions and to be able to apply them in a way that really serves me. I think it's going to help you to balance yourself out so much this season and to bring some structure and order. Emperor energy coming in, remember he is connected into Aries, connecting into that Mars energy. So I like that Temperance is sat right beside the Emperor and, connected into this death card as well, because what it's showing me here in this whole area of your reading, Pisces, and let me know how this plays out for you, is that actually, even though you're going to move through some very volatile energies that are going to keep continuously showing you where in the past you've made choices and decisions that haven't best served you, now you're going to gain control. Now you're going to make a better choice. Now you're going to put new foundations down that's going to help you to balance both your energy, but also like how you cope with what's being projected towards you. And if you are up against somebody that is trying to dominate, control, or set a particular agenda that doesn't feel favorable for you, I see you being really honest and truthful and upfront with how that makes you feel, or what your particular take on the situation is, but I still see you being able to do it in quite a diplomatic way. So good for you. I think that you're going to be able to take the high road in so many instances this month, and perhaps show other people the real way to deal with, some of these more volatile and, and frustrating situations as they emerge. I think you want to get things done, and you're going to look for the best possible solution to make that happen. And it's not because you're trying to skip out on the growth or the lesson. I don't see that at all. I see you absolutely sitting in the space and owning it and taking it on. But I also think you're very much of the opinion of how can we move forward here? What needs to change in order for that to happen? Because change has to happen here somewhere. I'm willing to take on where I can look to change my beliefs or be more open to a different way of working or a different way of communicating or a different way of sharing, connecting. But I also need you to do the same. That's what I feel is coming through from you. There's a real sense of dedication to bettering yourself, but also bettering others. And that's almost like this selfless aspect to the 6th house that I think is going to come through from you as well. It's that very altruistic kind of charitable quality that says, we're only better and stronger when we're in this together, and we both have the desire to want to take something forward. So you're not self-serving this month at all. I think you're recognizing where you need to take care of you and your value and demonstrate and express that. But then I see you very open and encouraging and actually nurturing when I look at the way that she's almost wanting to encourage, this future vision and what can happen. Now, 6 of Swords energy coming through suggests that there's an emotional journey that we're on right now. We're learning from the past, but we are clearly and determinedly, she's holding this sword up above her head here, very similar in the position of the Ace of Swords. And it is this sense of like wanting to cut through anything that isn't helpful or isn't beneficial. And there may be some emotional distance that's required, or some distance from something, in order for you to come to that realization. So remember that, through this month, in order to allow yourself to get things done, in order to realize the value and start to open up to the gain that's going to be coming through for you, you might have to distance yourself or move away from certain people or situations. And that's done with love, genuinely. Now, we've got beautiful new moon in Leo coming in on the 19th, and really harmonious aspects happening with Mercury, and in fact later in the month as well, a Jupiter-Mercury trine. So the opportunity for some real good news and gain coming, expansion in some aspect of your life is set to reveal itself. And I think that's going to be something to celebrate. Although it feels like a quiet celebration, Pisces. I don't think you're going to be in a position where you're necessarily shouting it from the rooftops, although you could, absolutely, and nobody would do anything other than cheer you on for it. But I just have this sense with your High Priestess, your Moonchild energy, Temperance, there's just something about you wanting to keep your cards close to your chest, because it's a victory or a success that perhaps has been hard fought, or there's been some casualties along the way, either what you've experienced or, sacrifices or compromises that you've had to make means that, not everyone's won out of this situation, or that you've actually just had to go to some really difficult places in order to, arrive at where you now find yourself. And so there is a sense of you absolutely needing to honor and recognize that moment of success, and feeling like, I don't need to tell everybody about this, because actually I don't need their validation either. I can still recognize my worthiness, my value, and the way in which I am celebrated, from a spiritual perspective, and also the way in which I'm celebrating myself. And this is so healthy, because it's helping you to really come to a new level of how you meet your own needs, becoming much more conscious and awake in all of your relationships, but most importantly, the relationship between you and you. Hawk Spirit, let Spirit be your guide. Yeah, I think again, it's just this like wisdom, this beautiful sense of discernment that's coming in. Remember, the Hawks take a bird's eye view of something. They want to look down in a situation that is in a state of flux and transition and say, do you know what? All of the details haven't fully been realized yet. We're on a journey right now. There's more adjustments that need to take place. The Emperor energy is one that you can tap into, because he's playing the long game here. you know. He's strategizing and he's making decisions that are going to deliver long-term gain and security. You know, he doesn't work on a whim. He hasn't got to where he is without having profound experience of all of the different ways that things can play out. And he's been able to work with that energy, to transmute it, to learn and grow and evolve from it. And so your hawk spirit is bringing in that reminder, but also that quiet high priestess spiritual centeredness, you know. There's a quietness when a hawk flies through the air. It's not announcing itself. It's kind of almost in stealth mode. And that's not because you're kind of wanting to jump up and surprise people. It's just that you have no need to, right now necessarily, share everything to everyone. You know, keeping your business to yourself, working on yourself, working on the relationships that are most important to you, putting your focus into the areas in your life that you want to see progress and just getting on with it and actually starting to feel really good about that. That's where a lot of healing comes in for you as well. Commitment. I really see that this is about you committing to yourself, if I'm honest. I also love that there's a star in the palm here and stars shown along with the hearts. And so, you know, I think it will play out in different ways. For some of you, yes, there could be a commitment back into an energy connection, a relationship that you're looking to charge and ignite with new energy and new understanding to allow it to evolve and change to the next level. But for others, I think this is the commitment to another aspect of your life that you're just prioritizing, and you're saying, do you know what? Right now I need to ride the wave of where the energy is flowing. And the energy may not be flowing where the devil is sitting, you know? So maybe that represents the person. Maybe that represents something that's toxic or just hasn't demonstrated to you light, progressive, positive energy. And so what we see is you making a decision here that says, I want to commit to where I'm seeing something evolve and take on an energy that feels really progressive for me. There's helping hand coming through here. And again, that's very sixth house. So I think you are going to be a position where you're helping others, but also that you might well come across somebody who who will absolutely be able to help you. And I actually feel linked into that Emperor energy quite strongly with that. So I think that could play out in a couple of different ways. You let me know how this resonates for you, Pisces. But I think that some of you are set to have the opportunity to either sit in front or to be introduced to somebody who is in an incredibly influential position. Now, Emperor energy could be male or female, but they're just stepping forward with that real divine masculine energy that has the authority, that has the control, the power, the resources, the wherewithal to open up something for you in your world. And I think that that could feel quite exciting. And again, you're just being invited to almost, I'm just going to take a couple of these cards because they both fill it, to almost just, play, be balanced in that approach. You know, you need to be balanced with the way that you deal with any opportunities that are coming in. Like I said, even though Leo energy can want to shout it from the rooftops and be front and center stage and say, hey, look at me, look what I've just achieved, or look what I've just done. I just don't really see you doing that, Pisces. You know, your high priestess and your emperor, very formidable, powerful energies to work with to bring about really lasting, significant change as you enter into a new life cycle. Oh wow, we've got 3 here. Okay, let's just take them. So 3rd house messages, Sagittarius, I see, Scorpio, I transform. Okay, well, first of all, we have Temperance linked to Sagittarius and we have Death card linked to Scorpio. So I think, like we said, these are really key energies with which you are working with. You see what is playing out around you. You see where the opportunities are, and then you are going to allow yourself to explore what that means and transform so that you can take advantage. Now, 3rd house messages coming in. This is about the way that you think, the way that you communicate, And what we're seeing is that the way you are choosing to communicate is in a visionary way, in a thought leadership way, in a very intuitive, centered, aligned way, in a channeled way almost, with truth, with integrity, with depth, because, you know, the card of the depth, that Scorpio energy goes deep, right? It's not afraid to kind of reveal and to show aspects of the self that are previously hidden to enable something positive to come from it. So Pisces, I hope this has given you a little bit of insight into the month ahead. This is a general reading. If you would like to join me for the extended, we'll go into a little bit more detail around it, and I would invite you to just think about a question that may not have surfaced through this reading, and we'll pull a couple of cards for you on that at the moment. You can find the link for the extended reading in the description box or the comment section below. And we'll just go ahead and pull some main cards for this spread right now. So we start with the Devil card, Page of Wands. Okay, fire energy possibly, Sagittarius, Aries or Leo. Ace of Cups here, so we could well be looking at a relationship. There's certainly a lot of passion involved here with that Page of Wands and Ace of Cups. Desire, kind of almost let loose as well, because the Page of Wands is, you know, an energy that's young, it's sort of vibrant, it's alive with possibility, that Devil. So, you know, there may well be some exciting rendezvous and connections for some of you also emerging this month as you have that energy of magnetism. So card of Justice coming in here could be a Libra energy, and just situations that we're needing to allow the divine order to play out. Five of Wands coming through here as well. So we've kind of got the diplomat coming in when we have upset or argument. So High Priestess and Justice working very well as that diplomatic energy, which I think you're going to be taking on, Pisces, in some instances through this month. So just be aware of that. So Three of Wands coming in with the Emperor again. I really like the boldness and the empowerment of those cards together. There's some anxiety and stress that surface around that. I can understand that. You know, it's probably some big, bold moves that you're considering taking or someone's offering you. But you have what it takes. Strength card's been showing up in a lot of readings this month, and I think it is just delivering this real quiet serenity, this peaceful underpinning to some of the volatility that's also playing out. So Ace of Swords, Seven of Wands. Again, like we said, perhaps at those moments when your value's been questioned or you're being challenged, you need to stand up for yourself, you need to be assertive. Death and the Fool, I love that combination. King of Cups. It could well be you, Pisces, or a Scorpio or Cancerian. Obviously, we had Death card linking to Scorpio. Eight of Wands. I mean, the energy is moving quickly in this fire season, and that Mars and Aries energy, and there's going to be an urgency to it. There's also this desire to want to break free. You know, so there's a lot of rebellious energy that's going to be playing out. So you'll see that coming up both for you, but the people around you as well. You know, there's a lack of patience, although interestingly, you're having it come up in your reading. So again, you might be the one that's trying to deliver that message to others, you know. Six of Wands, okay. Success is coming, but there's a process. Okay, another Devil card coming out here. Four Cups. Okay, Ten of Coins here. So perhaps a family dynamic, as it clarifies the Emperor, so a father or husband or powerful influence within a soul family. Your card, Pisces, the Moon coming through here. There's a lot of fear-based energies like surfacing, and I don't think all of them are yours, Pisces. I think you're going to have a lot of people around you trying to kind of project onto you what's going on within them, and you're going to have to be really careful not to absorb or take it on too much as your own, which I think is why your hawk is also showing up. You know, sometimes when the birds of prey and they sit on the kind of the arm and they have the little hood over their eyes to kind of keep them focused, I almost see that being something that's being gifted to you by spirit almost, so that you don't get caught up or drawn in to things that are not yours. Okay, going to leave it there, Pisces. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to continuing this if you are coming on for the extended reading. Otherwise, I wish you beautiful blessings this month. Take good care, and thanks for supporting my work and tuning into the channel. Bye.